Hey, Kyle Querec here, and today we're going to talk about the third of the top 3 albums in the history of the Verve. First was Kinda Blue, second was Sgt. Pepper's, in no particular order. Those are the 2 of the top 3. And the third one, are you ready for it? We're going to talk about it today. You know what it is? I don't know. There isn't one. And that's what we're going to talk about today on Music Minded. Where did the wonder go? The times in your life where you let the music take you. Where music itself was an actual part of your life. Before the distractions, before the noise, before the I this and before the I that. There was your favorite music. There was your life with its own soundtrack. But something happened and we lost sight, ironically enough, of what we were not hearing. Music. But coming in at number 3 is a whole bunch of great music. And we can always add to the list. As we talked about in the intro, and I'm sorry about this, there is simply not a third best album of all time. Again, this is so subjective. It's not really even about what you like. It's about what was happening at the time and how that influenced the legions of musicians and music after that. And that's why, in my opinion, Kinda Blue and Sgt. Pepper's. So now that we get to the third one, there isn't one. And I think the reason why is over the last 10 years, music's just not as important. I know that kills you to even think that, but it's true. And 10 years before that, the 2000s, less important. And then the 90s, pretty important, for sure. Grunge, a lot of stuff. 80s, big hair, pop metal. And then the 70s, my favorite of all time, the 60s, the 50s. And that's really what we had. We really had from the 50s to the 2000s. Still great music comes out all the time. But how important it was, how it played a role in our society has changed. I think what's so important is the influence that those first 2 albums and the musicians on those albums had for the next 50 years. And Kinda Blue, you think Miles influenced some people? I would think so. John Coltrane, probably considered the most influential tenor sax player of all time. Bill Evans, probably considered the most influential piano player. McCoy Tyner, Oscar Peterson, Art Tatum, Herbie Hancock. You can argue at Chick Corea, but Bill Evans might be the one. Jimmy Cobb, amazing. Paul Chambers, my favorite, upright player of all time. And then Cannonball Adderley. I mean, the influence, and that's just the players. That's not even the songs. And then you look at the Beatles, and there is not one pop rock band or artist, in my opinion, that has not been touched by the Beatles. But the reason why I couldn't come up with a third is because of the first 2, and because music, and it kills me to say this, it just doesn't seem to be valued or as important to us anymore as consumers. It's just not. I think obviously the 50s with Elvis and the doo-wop, and the 60s with the Beatles and the British Invasion, and then the 70s with the great arena rock bands, and then the 80s with the glitz and reverb, and then the 90s with the grunge. And then the 2000s came around, and there will always be great music. There's great music today. But the importance of it and the impact on our life, that's changed. So that's why there's not a number 3. So thanks for joining us today on Music Minded. I'm sorry, I didn't want to let you down, and I did, because there wasn't a number 3. There's just not. And it's because of the first 2. It's because of the role that music plays in our lives today, which is a little sad, but we can always get it back. And more importantly, we can go back and that list of albums I showed beyond the first 2, we can go and listen to all that stuff, and we can talk about it. Spend some time. Turn on the turntable. Close your eyes. Have at it. I'm Kyle Querec, Music Minded. Have a great day.
only on Facebook.